It's so interesting.
How's everybody doing?
Excrement. Excellent. Sorry, yes, perfect.
Excellent.
Very well.
Excellent. Jokes. This guy.
Hi, everybody. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello.
So we're here for this amazing panel that we're going to have today, and you guys are all settled in, looking nice and dapper. I love
Well,
it.
thank you. Thank you.
Somebody's better dressed than the rest. I would say.
Get it.
Shameless pandering. Where's my notebook? What's your name?
Yes, we see your face.
I'll allow it. I'm from Vancouver, so if we're talking hockey, Bruins.
We hate them too.
Although Campy's my boy.
All things Boston, boo.
It's a fictional team, but it's based off of Boston.
Back to the show!
Let's talk about sports. Darts.
Ultimate Frisbee. If we talk about tennis, that's kind of apropos for the show.
It is, yeah. I'd have to take my shoes off, but yeah.
Ultimate freestyle.
We're into you taking your shoes off.
Only if you wash them. No, that's
That's
you.
me, yeah.
No, that's me. We'll let you ask a question now. Fire away.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah.
So you guys been a part of a cultural phenomenon for over 20 years. A big, long time. New fans, old fans, many different faces. When did you guys feel like, holy crap, this is really taking my life, this is everything now, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going with?
Probably about 3 years ago was when it hit me. Vince wasn't with us at that time, but the three of us attended a convention in Pasadena, Anime Pasadena, which was the first one that I'd ever attended for Death Note specifically. And we showed up there for the panel, and it was in this giant theater, like beautiful old kind of Hollywood theater, probably had the capacity of like 2,000 people, and it was packed with people for us. And I just had to pinch myself because I didn't understand that the show had that staying power, and that also, as you said, that new generations had started to watch it. That I was completely disconnected from that until then, and we've been on the ride ever since.
It's pretty cool that when the show first kind of arrived here in North America, it was instantly popular. I think some of us kind of knew that it was going to be, or suspected it would be, and then it was huge. And then it showed up on, DVD, and a whole new group of people discovered it. And then eventually it arrived on Netflix, and a whole new group of people discovered it. And now, if I ask people like, oh, how did you find Death Note, or how did it find you? You'll get people saying something like, TikTok. So some little meme or some little video shows up, and they're like, what is this? And then they'll go and source it out on Netflix or Hulu, whatever. And so
Treehouse of Terror on The Simpsons.
that's right.
Showed up on there. What is this? I gotta check this Death Note thing out. Lisa's really into it.
But even that, because that was probably, a few years ago that happened on The Simpsons, and that's still so far removed from when the show actually released. That tells you everything you need to know, that Simpsons is doing it, first of all, and that they're doing it so far after Death Note came out that it was still relevant, and you're like, yeah, this show's not going anywhere, it's here.
What have you, Bishop?
Good answer.
Sundays, am I right?
Good answer. Matsuda!
You idiot! Oh, I know. I'm still here, No, I'm very happy to join these boys on these tours so that I can get to meet you guys. And Matsuda, for me, was like, I don't know, for me, it was like a show that I didn't know anything about. I was just starting my voiceover career, so I was auditioning for everything. I think I told you this last time, but I auditioned for Light, and I had a callback for Light. So I had to go back in, and I was like, oh, who's this Light character? I think he's the lead. I was like, look at me. I didn't get it. But I was like, who got it? I was like, Brad Swaile. I was like, of course, he's a legend, this dude. And look at him, he's so modest.
Then there's this little show called Lego Ninjago.
Yeah, that's right.
And I auditioned for that, and guess who took the role from me?
Like, it's pretty even Steven's thing. But no, I got this character named Matsuda, and I was like, who's this guy? He's a bumbling idiot. He's a rookie. He's always getting in trouble. I'm like, typecasting. So it was perfect. I got the job, and then I was like, going into this show, and I really dug it. And I was like, I really enjoy this show. Because what we do is we dub these shows, so we're just watching a TV screen, we have the script in front of us, and we're trying to match the mouth flaps. And we're just doing, I would just do Matsuda's lines. So I don't really get to see what's going on in the show. So as I progressively got more into it, I started watching it on Crunchyroll because I'm like, I'm really into all this like lore and all the different rules, the Death Note changes. And I had a pretty fun last scene with Mr. Kira.
It's a matter of opinion.
Well, it said, like, Vincent, you're gonna have a lot of fun today. This is the best part. Everyone's gonna love it. Yeah, but anyway, no spoilers. I don't know what happens at the end of this show. Who knows?
And like you said right there, you said, I tried out for Light, I was supposed to go for that.
Yeah.
For all of you guys, did you just go instantly, I'm going for him, or since the lanes are always so multiple for anime, which one did you actually want to dive into first?
I'll do the fastest story. I was not asked to read for Ryuk at all. I was given Light's father, which is a fantastic role. That's Chris Britton, right? He did a great job. His performance is great. I think I auditioned probably for a couple of the detectives, but they were a little bit younger than me at the time when I was reading it. But I showed up at the studio and saw a picture of Ryuk at the casting session, but I just thought they were just dudes in this anime, and I was like, who's the nasty demon? Why can't I read for him? And I went in and I asked the director who I'd worked with in the past, Carl Willems, who did a fabulous job on the series, and I kind of, please, hey, do you mind if I read for that guy out there too? He really looks cool. I've got the other ones prepared. I know if you don't have time, we won't, but he's very gracious and said, yeah, we could squeeze in. Now, here are the sides. We'll take another 5 minutes, have a look at the character of Ryuk. And I said, yeah, I love playing the bad guys. And he said, no, one thing, he's not the bad guy. And he's not a demon, he's a death god, and he kind of has an interesting laugh. So go take 5 minutes, have a quick look at the sides, and I came back in with an idea for Ryuk, and I did not get Light's father or anybody else, I got Ryuk. Sometimes it pays to ask for what you want, because I just asked him. I could have been like, oh man, who's the cool looking demon on the wall? I didn't get asked to audition for that and go home upset about it, but I saw that and I was like, I want to read for that guy. And they let me do it, and that's the role I got to play. So
What's funny is, like, I can't picture anybody else doing a Ryuk, so I can't imagine who they had slotted in for those auditions, because all I ever hear is you now. So thank you for...
Scott McNeil would have been on the list.
For sure.
He probably did a pretty good job too.
Yeah, there's something to be said for not having too much time to think about something too.
Yeah.
Your first instincts. I mean, I also with Elle. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but I'm sure I read for Light and Matsuda and any of the younger male voices in the show. But yeah, you had a little image of the character maybe and a few lines, and you just sort of go with your first gut instinct on what he should sound like, and luckily enough, it worked out.
Thank you.
So my next one is, everybody interprets the show differently, left and right, up and down. He did this wrong, they did this wrong. How do you guys interpret your characters? Did they do right? Did they do wrong? Did they...
I just did it because I was bored. I wanted to watch it all unfold. I didn't do anything right or wrong, Brad.
I like to, I have a biased opinion, obviously. I like to take some of the responsibility off of Light, in that I sometimes think of the Death Note as another character in the series that kind of infects those who use it. Because I like to think that, if not for the Death Note, Light could have had a very different path, might have been working with Elle at some point as like a detective or investigator or something. So I like to think that the corruption of the Death Note and the power that comes along with it kind of helped to push him down this very slippery slope to, nastiness. And it's not all something that was, in his being beforehand. I'm just trying to justify and rationalize things a little bit.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, there's really no excuse for Light.
I'm similarly biased, of course, but I will say this, the show's so smart because kind of what you're alluding to, the whole section where Light has amnesia or sort of forgets who you get a glimpse back into what might have been, and you get a glimpse back into this young man who had such promise, and before he allowed
Before the God complex?
before he allowed his megalomaniacal tendencies to come to the fore. For Elle, I think the journey is one of, perhaps letting for the first time in his life, maybe, letting his feelings for someone cloud his judgment. There is a connection here between these two characters. They
A heated
find each other,
rivalry.
if you will. If you will.
I get it.
Um,
I get it.
I think, for me, that's the most satisfying explanation why he doesn't just catch him, because I think he wants the chase to go on forever.
Wow, your voice is just like your character.
My actual voice is this. I've been putting it on all day. Yeah, it's really exhausting to talk like this all day.
Matsuda did a very good job of filling Kira with holes. I think it made him a very holy
Speaking
man.
of holes,
He's a bit
Heated
holy
rivalry.
man.
Hello. But no, I think, Matsuda, he had a big journey through the whole thing, just like a lot of
whole
these guys.
thing.
Hello. And, jeez. It would be
Sundays,
a different
am I
show.
right?
It would be a different show now, I think. There'd be more shower seats. Anyway, I think Matsuda, he was a very clever policeman. He really wanted to have the chief as approval. And
He called an idiot like 3 times.
yeah, he was a bit of an idiot, and rightfully so. He had, he's a good character when you have a whole episode named Matsuda.
I guess.
You're welcome. But he was a total idiot in that too. It's like, I remember the scene where he was like, listen, Kira, I heard it. They said Kira, that's them. And then they open the door and he gets on all fours. And, oh. And there's a whole scene with him just on his hands and knees. I'm like, that's for way too long. And there was the camera angle was from behind, looking up at all of them, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm Misa's agent from Yoshida Productions. And he was in total trouble. Matsuda, you idiot. So,
Get off the floor.
okay, just give me 10 more seconds. But yeah, that's where heated rivalry came from.
Yeah,
Anyway, yes, next question, please. On to the next!
Staying with voices and staying with voices. Like Brian said, he was going for the father, and then he got this voice. This one's for L. Yes, you. Yeah. L is very subtle, very mysterious. I can't do the mysterious voice like he does. He's subtle, mysterious. Where did that lock in from to be this is what I wanted to be?
Well, it just comes naturally.
Again, I sort of said earlier, it was just like a first gut instinct. There was something about him that looked very introverted, hunched over, kind of emo, for lack of a better word. And I just felt like, let's go as quiet as possible. But obviously, I think there was, probably a one-line description of him as intelligent. So I tried to sound a lot smarter than I am, and really made sure that I articulated and sounded pretty much bored by everything, and it worked out.
Nailed every bit of it. I love how he's just bored and unaffected, but still finds out so much more in that board.
Yeah, there's very few notes in L's range, but I tried to play in as much.
I wasn't going to say it, but
Yeah.
I agree.
But considering how much candy and sugar he consumes, he should be bouncing off the walls. So he's got this incredible metabolism that just kind of centers him. I don't know, he translates.
Doesn't affect him at all.
No, it's crazy.
Did you guys see the behind the scenes footage ever of us recording? There's some behind the scenes stuff. And I was like a rookie. So I was like, how can I wore this pink shirt with hearts on it that says everybody loves an Asian boy. I was ahead of my time. And I was all like, yeah,
I have to
dude,
go back and watch this.
I love playing Matsuda. It's so much fun. It's so cool. And then my section was with Trevor Duvall, who played Aizawa, and he's super cool guy. And then there's this dude like, this is what I play now. And I was like, yeah, I love voice acting. It's really fun. I've never met my castmates before, but I really want to meet him.
Like he said, typecasting.
Exactly.
Yeah. But even there's so much scope to Death Note, and that character is very important. And I do remember because there were some Japanese live action movies that came out, and we got to do all the voices for those as well. So a handful of us from the cast went and watched the theatrical release. of these movies. And I remember being very, very nervous because I grew up watching like horribly dubbed, Jackie Chan kung fu movies, and I'm like, oh no, did we just do that for Death Note? But it actually turned out really good. I almost found like 10 minutes in, I kind of forgot that it wasn't supposed to be in English, but I do remember one scene where it was kind of like a serious scene, so the whole theater's quiet, because we're watching with everybody else. They didn't know who we were, it was kind of great. And then Matsuda says something just stupid, and the whole place just erupts in laughter. So it's so nice to have a show called Death Note that has like serious tones, all kind of stuff, and then you just have some comedy that kind of breaks through and cuts through. But I just remember the entire, theater all at once pissing themselves from him saying one stupid line, and it was just so perfectly delivered. The timing was great. Such a range. Continue.
Oh, that was beautiful, beautiful.
Thanks, Brad.
So all of you guys definitely been a part of this show for many, many years. You guys are also part of multiple other lanes. What is least known that still sticks out to you that you've been voicing for these many years?
What is least known, did you say?
Least known that is your favorite.
Least known that's kind of a favorite. Wow. I would probably say, and it was one of my favorite to work on, did any of you ever grow up or have family members that read Geronimo Stilton books? They were sort of showed up in schools, and they were massively popular with Scholastic. And PBS did a 52-episode series of it, and I got to play the lead. It was one of the first times I ever played a lead. I'm usually the bad guy or a sidekick or something, but I got to play Geronimo Stilton, and it was a blast. I loved the animation. It was done by the Disney guys that did The Great Mouse Detective. It's about this mouse who's kind of a detective. It was fabulous, and probably one of the least known shows that I had the most fun on in my career, for sure.
My very first cartoon that I ever worked on was a series called My Little Ponytails. What are you laughing for? It's a serious project.
It's a lot like that.
So that was really cool for me at the time, because now I'm on a cartoon on Saturday mornings and stuff like that. And then eventually Friendship is Magic came out, and then pony lore just blew up all over the place. So that was pretty cool. A little bit more recently, there's a series that some of us worked on called Gigantosaurus. So it's like a Disney affiliated show, but it's for little kids. So it's not like anybody would know it unless you're 4 years old and watching it. For a show like that, you get to actually do character-y voices. We were playing talking dinosaurs and things like that. What was really cool is coming from My Little Pony, where I was pretty young working on that series and kind of looking up to any of the older folk that were working on it. And then we get to Gigantosaurus, and the main cast are these 4 actual kids. And then the rest of us, so suddenly I'm the grizzled veteran. But I remember one of the kids in the cast at some point, saying, "Brad," and I'm like, "Yeah, buddy." He's like, "I think it's so cool that you're playing 2 characters on this show." Because there was a scene where my 2 characters were talking to each other. And so I'm like, "Hi, I'm Archie, I'm Floyd." "No, you're a moron." And this kid was just looking up going, and so that was a full circle moment for me going "Oh, I'm the veteran now, and this is the young rookie." And I was in that position at some point looking up to guys like, Scott McNeil and Ian James Corlett, and all these guys where I'm "Oh, these guys are serious." So it's kind of cool if you can stick around long enough that you can kind of suddenly, change your role in things.
I share the experience of you starting when we were in our teens, looking up to people like Ian Corlett, who's here at the con, and being in the studio and soaking it all up. And then the flip side of that, now as a old person. An under the radar thing that I've loved to do in the past actually is audiobooks. I had the pleasure of narrating a science fiction book called Solaris that was the source material for a feature film that came out
Called Solaris.
George Clooney. Yeah, well, there was a Tarkovsky movie before that was even better, that was based on it. But also another one called The Chronicles of Amber, which was a fantasy series that I did the first 4 books, and Will Wheaton did the last 4. And I love books, I love reading it anyway, so I enjoy the challenge of taking people on that ride and playing all the characters and stuff. And those, I think, are on Audible somewhere. Findable on Audible.
Findable on Audible. See, I hate reading, but I love being read too, so thank you for that.
Only $9.99 for easy payments.
I've done a lot of things that a lot of people don't know, but There was one thing that I don't think a lot of people know about it, but I think it's really cool because I got to voice match. So sometimes we had to voice match, and I got to voice match a guy who I looked up to as a kid, and his sister is Azula. His father is the violent Ozai. So I do Zuko on some of the video games, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And I got to meet Dante Bosco.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, hey, Mr. Bosco. And his line was like, he was at a Fan Expo, and his line was like kind of shutting down. I was like, I just want to say hi to. And the hand was like, no, he's not seeing anyone. He's not seeing them. And he goes, do I know you? And I was like, no, but we got mutual friends. And then so we started talking, and I was like, holy crap, I'm talking to Rufio. Because for me, this is such a tangent, but for me, as an Asian guy, I don't know if you noticed.
Whoa, what?
I know! So, as a kid, you know, I was like watching Asians being represented as like gangsters or super nerds. It was super stereotyped. So for me, watching Rufio, an Asian dude that was cool and had power, and he wasn't scary, but he was like, you know, he had authority. It was a very big juxtaposition from the times. So I was very happy and inspired by him. And so to meet him, I was very, very nervous. And I also was like, so I hope you're okay, but I do your voices in some video games. And he said, oh no, it's cool. All right, so yeah, let's take a picture for our buddy. I was like, cool. And he's like, so you just checking out the con? I'm like, no, I got a signing. He's like, oh, you got a signing? I was like, yeah. So I think he thought I was like a fan. I was like, I do your voice, Mr. Dante. On some video games? And he's like, so hopefully we're cool, but you know, whatever.
All right, now I have one for Brad.
Yeah.
How do you feel about light? Do you feel he's evil, good, bad? What do you feel?
Good, bad. I'm the guy with the gun. Totally different series, never mind. Well, I think depends what episode we're talking about. Episode 1, mild-mannered Japanese student, good guy. Episode 37, maniacal psychopath. So yeah, like I think, and what we're kind of alluding to earlier is you see glimpses of both kind of as we go through. But that one sequence where he kind of gives away his memory of the Death Note, then you see that he is, in fact, at his core, a good person who's trying to do good things. But the saying goes, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and that's absolutely what happens to our poor friend Light. So by the end of the series, it's a lot more difficult to find the good in him, because there's a transition where at the beginning he's trying to kill people that are bad people in his eyes that are not going to face justice, and he wants to be able to provide that justice. And then we start to see a shift where now he's starting to kill off people just because they're getting closer to discovering his identity. And then it makes it harder to beat Team Light. Some people are, and I thank you for that. But yeah, it's a trickier sell at that point. So yeah, like I was saying before, the corruption of the Death Note, I think, really changed his character and what would have been his trajectory in life. And it obviously didn't end all that well for him. Nope. Sorry. And Ryuk did say it was going to go down that way, and I was like, nah, I'll give you apples, we'll become friends, it'll be fine.
I told him at the very beginning I would be the one writing his name in the notebook when he dies.
Shinigami are, beasts of their word.
Exactly.
Pretty much speaking the same thing for you. You voiced this amazing villain that doesn't really have, traditional villain values.
How dare you call
He's a
him
villain, yes, correct. You can stay.
To me, he's a villain, but I feel more anti-hero with him at the same time. He picks and chooses when he wants to actually do it. So for you, was that easy to tap into, or is it what do you feel on that?
I do not think of Ryuk as a villain in any way, and didn't from only in his look. Maybe he looks like one. He's a god, and he was bored, and he wanted to see. He knew this would cause chaos, and chaos is very interesting for him to participate in and watch unfold. Nothing was going on in the death realm. It was boring as hell, and he wanted to see what would happen, and he knew this would ignite a lot of things, flames and fires that he could watch, and he didn't try to put them out. He didn't really try to stoke them either. He just watched it. So it was very, I
what was fun about that role is usually you're either playing a protagonist or an antagonist or a sidekick of one or the other. But Ryuk's not that. He's just watching it. And it was fun to record those episodes because that's what you're doing as an actor. I just go in and watch. I'm watching the show, and that's exactly what Light's doing. So I'd watch these scenes and watch Ryuk in them, and then they say, okay, add the voice to it, and I'd just be sort of participating in what I was seeing. It was a really unique character and very fun to do.
Just gave me chills. It was like, that's what I wanted to hear because I've always felt like he's not a bad guy. He's just like, I told you what was going to happen. So
And don't
What do you expect?
shortchange his looks either. You know, I think in the Shinigami realm, he's
the
probably
sexiest
a sexy
guy
bad
there.
boy.
All that
He's
leather
like-
and those piercings, come on.
He's a thirst trap in the realm. For sure.
Don't kink shame him.
I'm sorry. You guys are who?
This battle is really getting away from us very quickly.
We're kids.
Just up the border there, you know.
All of you guys are Canadians?
Oh, we're just
yeah,
miles away.
Yeah, even this one that looks like this.
Well, with that being said, since you guys are all Canadian and everything, where did you guys find yourself getting into the anime world? Where did this lane in Canada come to?
It's Hollywood North, baby.
Vancouver is known as Hollywood North. They don't just do movie after movie and Hallmark movie after Hallmark movie and the Smallvilles and the Stargates and the Battlestar Galacticas and the
Last of
100s
Us.
and Last of Us and the thousands of things are filmed in
Upcoming God of
Vancouver.
War series.
God of War is being shot up there right now. It's animation since the mid '80s has been a huge part of Vancouver, Hollywood North as well. It exploded.
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball Z, it's all been done up there. So that's where, of course, Ocean Studios did a lot of anime from mid '90s or actually early '90s through to the 2010s probably when they were doing the most of it. And there was a massive amount of stuff that we worked on in that time. And as a performer, you have a tool belt, and if you love acting, you want to do stage or film or radio spots or TV commercials or AJ's done tons of film and television, and some of us fell more into the side of voice. Vincent's done stage all over the place, but voice was something I fell into more after doing theater and film and TV, and you just. It was a part of what was available to us there. We're lucky to be in a city that had it, because if you weren't, it's a difficult industry to find your way into.
So I think it really comes down to two words: exchange rate.
Yeah.
The Canadian dollar was always pretty far beneath the US dollar, so it's cost effective. At a time, it was very cost effective to film and to record in Canada, and luckily that allowed us to build an incredible infrastructure of talented crew and cast.
We work for Toonies and Loonies up there, eh? Yeah, that's all you need. You got those and a six-pack, or do whatever you want, right?
Maybe some Tim Hortons donuts.
Yeah, a couple of
Who's got Timbits? We'll work for Timbits.
Okay. Well, I've had fun up here with you guys. Let's open up for the people over here. If you have questions for these amazing people up here, please line up one by one and let's get this
Yeah, come on up. Let's do some
Let's
questions.
get started. Let's get started. Yeah.
Question number one. Fire away.
I was just rewatching episode two last night. I was curious, how far could Light have gotten if he didn't fall for the first broadcast and killed Lindell Taylor?
Okay, that's a very valid point. For the genius that Light appears to think that he is, he makes a huge gaffe very early on, which really limits the search area that Elle and his crew have to go through. So, I think it'd be a totally different story. It could have been, 12 seasons, if not for that one gaffe of him assuming a national broadcast wasn't actually just a little regional one, which really kind of narrowed their search. So yeah, it would have been a much, much longer series. And hopefully Light would have done, a little bit better job of staying elusive for quite a bit longer. Yeah, that changed the trajectory of everything.
Good question. Thank you.
Was there ever a hard moment recording for Death Note?
It's a hard moment.
A hard moment recording for Death Note. Eating apples and talking is very challenging. I attempted once to try and take a bite of an apple and continue with the dialogue, but it's very difficult to do with a mouthful of apple. And there's not usually time with the mouth flaps of your character to swallow said apple, so it'd be all over my page and trying to spit it. So no, I said, forget it, I can't. I tried to make the sound of actually using an apple to eat it, but it didn't work. So I just decided to make apple eating sounds and then continue with the dialogue with no apple in my mouth.
Okay. Last episode was a pain in the butt for me. Mostly because I didn't want the show to end, but also I had notes and I had ideas and all these grand thoughts of what was going to happen. So when Matsuda has provided Light with more holes in his body than he should have, there's
Holes.
Yeah.
Call back.
Okay. There's a scene where Light's kind of walking through the city in front of like a chain link fence and whatever, and he's leaking and all that. And so I watched it in the original Japanese, and I'm like, I have an idea. So I show up in the studio doing something you never do in studio. I brought like a juice cocktail and a chocolate milk. And I took a slug of this one and a slug of this one, and I'm like, let's record. And I recorded that whole long sequence with him like just breathing and kind of like doing all that and just walking through the city. And we get it done, and the guys behind, in the booth are going, and I'm like, I nailed it. So we sent that off, and then I had to come back, and I was very proud of it. I was like, curdling stuff in my mouth and everything. It was wonderful. Method acting, I guess. So then I get a call back in, we're doing some pickups from some other episodes, and they say, remember that sequence that you did where you were walking? Oh, yeah, that was great. I go, it sounded amazing. It's far too disgusting. So they had me go in and kind of just redo the whole thing, just making it a little less disgusting. So that was difficult to do without the aid of my disgusting props. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Maybe a director's cut. We'll release that at some point.
You can pass the mic to the person behind you.
Hello.
Hello again.
Hi again. I was wondering what your favorite lines to record were during the process of recording for Death Note.
Ooh, will you set me up? Can you play Misa?
It's been so long.
Can you say, I can't imagine a world without light?
I can't imagine a world without light.
Yes, that would be dark.
Given present company, Matsuda, you idiot!
What about your dad? What the hell did he die for?
Nice.
I do stuff.
How about, well, Light, it's been interesting.
Hello. So what? Gosh, I have to rethink. So what is your favorite part about recording lines for your shows? What is your favorite thing to do when you're recording?
I really enjoy, we have these little codes because it's like anime. So they give you a little code. My favorite code is MNS, which means mouth not seen. So that means you don't have to sync up any of your dialogue. It's the back of Matsuda's head, or like it's a slow pan of a city shot and Matsuda's just talking, because I am so bad at like looking at the script and trying to look at Matsuda's mouth. So MNS, mouth not seen, is my favorite. That's my favorite.
Or when you get a character with like a mask, and you have a bunch of dubbing to do, and there's a mask over their face. It's the best.
My least favorite is CML, closed mouth laugh. It took me decades to figure out how to do a closed mouth laugh that didn't sound like I was snotting all over the place.
Do it! What is it?
It took a while. Yeah. And there's all these reactions that you do. It's anime, right? You've seen anime, you know how it goes. There's always a lot of, huh? Yes. The way that I did them for a long time, they would, I think it became a term for me, just swale it up a little bit, and I would know exactly what they were talking about. And I heard some other actors saying that crossed over into other sessions. Can you throw a little swale on that? And they'd go, huh? Perfect.
It is interesting how ours are a little different than the Japanese. Like the Japanese versions of those sounds tend to have a lot of K's in them, so it's always like. But ours was, it's very awkward sounding when you're just doing those sounds and you're supposed to be
That would be
singing.
awesome. That'd be a good cut, like a director's cut of just. That's so weird.
Because with dubbing and they bring in one actor at a time and we'll record all of our dialogue for like 4 or 5 episodes, sometimes you go line to line to line and that's all it is. And you realize like it's spread over 4 or 5 pages and there's dialogue in between, but all I'm hearing myself do is, what is this show?
What are we doing?
It's dead though.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. First, before my question, I want to say to Alejandro, I've probably said this before to you yesterday at your booth, but thank you so much for playing my all-time favorite anime character, L. As a neurodivergent person, I see so much of myself in like L's mannerisms, like how L is. It's just really heartening when you know I see things that I struggle with, like that are represented, and I see that, and I can say to myself, wow, I don't have to be ashamed of this. Thank you.
Thank you. That means more than you can know.
And, okay, now, yeah, we're having fun. That's a nice comment. Oh God. Okay, now, hear me out. Hear me out. So regarding the American movie, again, calm down.
Relax.
Now, one thing I found very interesting is that, a lot of people are not big fans of the American movie, but do you know who is? The creators of Death Note. In fact, Obata, the artist, he drew fan art of Nat Wolff's Light. So I want to know, what are your thoughts on this divisive movie?
Well, that's very interesting that the creator is a fan. I made it through about 20 minutes.
That's longer than he lasted in the series.
Sick burn. Yeah, totally. Wow, shade. So maybe that's my answer. I mean, I am of the consensus that they just didn't quite nail the tone of it. I think it lent itself more to a series than a feature too, because we get to go deeper into the characters and delve. It's a rich world, and there's a lot to mine there.
I watched the whole thing recently. I was pumped for the casting of Willem Dafoe. He's a phenomenal. I mean, if you can think of a guy who looks more like Ryuk and already sounds like him, like nothing else to do. They're like, do we need makeup? No, sorry. He was great, and all the other actors, Misa, Light, L's actors. I've seen them in numerous other films and TV series. They are phenomenal performers. But as AJ said, I felt the tone wasn't quite the same. I was even a little put off a bit by Ryuk's character. Was like, yeah, kill them, and I was like, ooh, Ryuk's not usually kind of pushing anyone into that sort of scenario. So I found it the same thing. Much more lends itself to a longer series, even if they found a way to make it a limited series of 6 or 7 episodes. It was just a lot to try and squeeze into one, so they changed the story so much that it made it a little off-putting for me anyhow, knowing the series as well as I do.
I didn't even know there was one. When I thought you said Willem Dafoe was going to be Light, I was like, that'd be funny. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Yes, the person from Boston. Hi.
Okay, well, you're safe here.
Okay.
Fire away.
Anyway, as a grandmother, I thought it was extremely disturbing You were only my 4th anime I had ever watched. And my granddaughter pushed me into this. And, hey, I wanted to connect, okay?
I love your part.
So did you start with like Pokemon, Digimon,
No,
and then
that
Death
stuff
Note?
is, no. No, I started with Classroom, Assassination Classroom. And then I went on to...
Chainsaw Man.
No, then I went on to Alchemist, what is it?
Great series.
Then Attack
Attack
on
on
Titan.
Titan. I like right before you go to bed. Great watch.
Thank you. Seriously. And then my granddaughter goes, I think you're ready for Death. Well, I got to tell you, the first couple of episodes, I'm like, okay. And she goes, it's a little slow in the beginning. She'll get, you'll get to it. And I mean, really, Attack on Titans kind of blew me away a little bit. So anyway, it was very disturbing in the beginning. Today actually has helped me a lot. And you guys are amazing. You're all really amazing. Just your laughs, your smiles, your face, and you look nothing like him.
Thank you.
He showered last
But I
night.
gotta tell you, when I was sitting there, I closed my eyes, I could see you perfectly. So, Light. What was your worst killing? What was the one that may have...
Naomi.
You, okay.
Naomi Matsuda.
Oh,
That
okay.
was that was kind of the turning point.
Now, is that
The
the
detective's wife.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that was disturbing. That really was.
I'm Kira. Ooh, creepy. But I will say, because I know I'm getting scolded right now, really, like, my biggest sin in that entire series, I think, was how Light treated Misa.
Yes.
I was raised, I know she has a lot of things coming, whatever, but I was raised better than that. So, like, my mom will never forgive me. And I'm like, it's a role. It's an animated series. Yes, but I'm so disappointed. Yes, Mom.
Well, I agree with you, but yes, the girl, yes. So, I love the way, and that young man who was just up here, totally, 100% got it. I love the way you acted. I love the way your voice came through his body beautifully, his character. You cracked me up.
Oh, in the show or now?
And you were a nightmare at first. But it
Thanks,
was
a sexy one.
Piercings.
She's not in here, right? Anyway, thank you guys for opening up an old lady's eyes. It was really fun, and I enjoyed every moment of sitting here waiting for my granddaughter to show up. But thank you. I'm glad I stayed.
Oh, this is awesome. Yeah.
I find that Death Note characters are really relatable to the viewer, despite being the most campy, unrelatable characters ever. Like Death God, serial killer, master detective, and Matsuda.
And Matsuda.
Yeah. I was wondering, as actors, I find that your characters can be part of your identity after reporting. Did you ever pull traits from your characters in your everyday life after spending so much time with these characters? Do you ever in everyday life?
Allegedly.
Weird. I mean, I do enjoy sitting this. This is very, very comfortable. Sit here, for the rest of the panel if you like.
My consumption of potato chips has increased tenfold.
I always loved apples, and now even more. And I do sometimes want to sow a little chaos when I am bored. What can I say now to stir things up?
Brian used to live in an apartment building on the very top of the building, and I thought it would be hilarious to do a handstand on the edge of the balcony, which I did. I did get a picture of it, and he was quite mad at it, but I did it.
So you're an idiot in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Real life idiot. Yes. Yeah. I didn't see you do it. I saw the picture when you posted it. I was like, wow. There's 23 stories up in a penthouse, and he was like on the edge with like doing a handstand on.
But I'm here.
Yeah, but he's still here. Yeah. Parkour. Thank you.
Thank you.
So when you guys were watching the anime, what kind of like alternative endings were you guys hoping for instead of like how it did end?
I got the one I wanted.
Yeah, I told them that's what was going to happen.
You had it coming.
I was hoping that Elle was still alive. That was all part of his plan.
Yeah.
Throwing Nier, his protege, in there, and then as a test, and then like he'll pop out at the end. Not so much.
It's kind of like when we lost Dumbledore, and I'm like, that can't be right. There's no way. And like when a series is, willing to kill off arguably the most popular character on the show, it's deflating and infuriating, but it also really kind of heightens the stakes and makes you more invested going, ooh, what's going to happen next?
I was kind of hoping for like Light's plan like did work with Mikami with like the copying the Death Note and all that, and like Nier and all of them did die and like Light lives on.
Yes, and like my theory, you're absolutely correct. Towards the end of the show, Light's walking through, we talked about that whole scene, whatever, and then he ends up at a staircase, and he kind of goes up the middle of the staircase and then lays down, and then credits roll and stuff like that. What you don't see is after the credits are done, he awakes from his slumber and goes to get like a slushie or something like that, and then the story goes on.
Just quick last thing, in the Relight movie, in the beginning scene, do you guys think that Shinigami that was walking towards Ryuk is Light?
That's the spin-off series I want to see.
Yeah, I think if there's if any more came from this series, I'd love to see more about the Death Realm. Where do they come from? Why do they exist? Could any of them have been humans? Is Light there? Is Elle there? I don't know. There's some great, even backstory if you went historic, where did Ryuk come from? Why is he who he is?
Is there like a Shinigami band up there?
Yeah, exactly.
What music they play?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys. Hey. I had the pleasure to meet you all earlier this weekend.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, all things considered for anime, Death Note is pretty short, and there's a lot of dialogue. Did you guys have any like favorite short quips or one-liners that really stuck out to you guys throughout the show?
Juicy. I am justice.
I already did mine. Yes, that would be dark.
Juicy.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Oh, I love your Christmas elf.
Yeah, Christmas
elf. Get
Christmas
it?
elf.
You are on the naughty list.
Elf on the shelf. So if your characters in Death Note were isekai'd or teleported to another anime show or movie, what would it be and what would they do?
They were teleported to another, like an anime?
Yeah, or show, movie, whatever.
Or a show or a movie, wow.
Another one of your characters that you've been.
Oh. I think Matsuda would be hilarious in Attack on Titan. He'd be funny. He'd be like, look, that guy's really big.
Is there another anime that has like tons of like candy and sweets and
every anime?
Okay, so there's something where Elle could eat Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory or something. There you go.
There's a character that I did on a different series that has a lot of similarities to Light. Visually, the hair is kind of the same color. He always carries a book around. It's a series called Hamtaro. And so I'd love to see like Light Yagami swap with Maxwell from Hamtaro.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
It'd be a sunflower seed, I guess. Crump, 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 crump. Yeah, I'll work on that. He's a hamster.
I think Ryuk would fit right into the MCU pretty nicely, wouldn't he? Yes. Wandering around with his book, just writing down any names of this, like, Captain America.
Thanos.
Screw you, Thanos. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi.
What are you doing up here?
What's happening?
I just wanted to know if your character seen Heated Rivalry, what would they think about it?
If our character saw Heated Rivalry, what would they think about it? We all love a boy aquarium, don't we? Come on.
I mean,
It already is a heated rivalry. Come on, we know this. Yeah.
I mean, Alessandro's part Asian. I don't know which part, but.
You can always find out.
And I think we've been.
All right.
Panel. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.